Hi everybody, Tom Gile at the Gile Group, bringing you the Gile Report for Tuesday, November 10th. Before we get started in this week's report, I want to reach out and thank all the veterans out there and their families for the sacrifices that they have made for all of us in this country. So thank you very much for your sacrifices and your services. It's greatly appreciated. The presidential election was a week ago. Obviously, it's been big news for the last several weeks. And this election, like many others in the past, brings a fair amount of anxiety as people contemplate the future and are concerned about the economy and the impact on the housing market. So this week in the Gile Report, we're going to take a look at the history surrounding elections. We're going to see what the experts have to say, and we're going to dig into the latest leading indicators for the Portland real estate market. So let's get started. So let's dig into some post-election projections here. This first one is by BTIG Research, and I think we can all relate to this statement here. Potential home buyers often become cautious as we get closer and closer to an election. Caution is often temporary and ultimately results in deferred sales. As the economy, jobs, interest rates, consumer confidence all have far more meaningful roles in the home purchase decision than a presidential election result in the months that follow. Some more information here by Ellie Wolf, the chief economist from Myers Research. History suggests that a slowdown is largely concentrated in the month of November. In fact, the year after a presidential election is the best of the four-year cycle. This suggests that the demand for new housing is not lost because of an election uncertainty. Rather, it gets pushed out into the following year as long as the economy stays on track. So I think this is pointing to a strong finish to 2020. And all the indicators we're seeing, both having to do with the election and housing in general, are really pointing to a strong 2021. So let's dig into the leading indicators here in the Portland metro area and taking a look at new listings here. First of all, I think what you can see here by this graph, I'm going to say we're falling into more of a normal seasonal pattern of listings. If you take a look at how 2020 and 2019 lay over each other, starting from about September on, with the exception where we had a dip due to the fires here in the metro area, we're following pretty much the same type of curve. We're also starting to see some seasonal slowdown here in lockbox opens. We had 19,000 opens last week, so that's down just a little bit from the week before. Taking a look at pending sales, it's still a very competitive market out there right now. We're starting to see that same seasonality dropping off there on pending sales, starting to slow down a little bit, but we are still up 20% over where we're at 2019. So continuing to see very strong sales activity here in the Portland metro area. That's kind of tying over to price. We've been hovering around that median sales price in the Portland metro area of about $500,000. We hit that number again last week after a little bit of a dip before. But looking at that number, we've been at about $500,000 since about the beginning of July. What's driving this? Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record from last week's report, but interest rates are continuing to make things very affordable, making payments very affordable. Interest rates hit another all-time low last week with a 30-year fixed at 2.78 and a 15-year fixed at 2.32. If you remember the numbers that I put together, that can equate up to like $100,000 in additional buying power compared to interest rates 2 years ago. So keeping things really affordable here for buyers in this market. Have any questions about the economy or the real estate market here in Portland or across the country? We'd love to hear from you. Send us an email at askgilegroup@gilegroup.com. Give us a call or reach out to us on social media. We're here to help.